Hello, heroes and villains. Welcome to Multiverse. So you can see here I'm with our friend Nix the Black Mask.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
So basically, Nix was crazy enough. So I guess in addition to evil Nix, we can call him also Crazy Nix
Crazy Nix. I have been known as the rudest person in DCUO, but also the nicest person on DCUO.
because he was crazy enough to purchase a billion base items so that we could have a look at them.
Oh, I think a billion is a little over the top, but yes, it's a lot. So, anyways, throughout this entire stream, I'm going to do a contest with you all. As well as I'll be constantly mentioning this throughout the stream. I want you all to guess, as we're going to show off all the base items, because I've gotten Multiverse pretty much all the base items. There was some that he did have, and that's why this is a little bit tricky for you all. I want you all to think, how much currency did I spend towards Multiverse? Whoever's closest without going over, I'll find your name, I'll find out from you your game tag through the stream, and I'll shoot you 100 million.
So if you guys can guess, you'll be rich by the end of the day.
Rich-ish. Who knows?
So we'll start by looking at let's take a quick look at the marketplace. Today, for those of you who may not know, we got the winter sale that started today. Some people were saying it was supposed to start like I think at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I was told that it started a bit earlier than that. But so basically, we got the sale is up to 50% off, but it's not really 50% off. Like there's some items like you can see the Gotham Starter CD pack, the Ultimate Lantern Core pack. These are at 50% off, and also on top of that, there's also the 10% off you get if you are a subscriber. So you can see most of the packs, they pretty much all seems to be 50% off. If we take a quick look, the powers, let's take a look. I forget how expensive the powers usually are, but you can see the price for the water power right now. And let's see what else. For the updates, so there's items like Respect Power Token. There is a small sale, but it's not 50% off. It's I would say 25% off maybe. For the weapons, it seems to be pretty much the same thing. My character slot, let's take a look. My character slot seems to be 50% off. Let's take a look at the shirt bank. Uh, I forget how expensive that was. So, but you saw the price right now. So you can see addition in bank slots. If you want to change the name of your character, the time is now. It is 50% off. So it's pretty much as cheap as it's ever going to be. So if you ever needed to change the name of your character, I know Nick's had some reservation about the name of my character. I'm curious to see if he has any actual suggestions.
How about the loser hero known as the Multiverse?
That's probably too long to fit in the name thing. So you can see here the layer system is 50% off. Let's take a quick look. Skimming seems to be the same thing. So there's a whole bunch of items of supplies. Oh yeah, and also they've added the 40 stabilizers pack. It's something that we used to have way back when. Not sure why at some point. Maybe Nix knows about that. Maybe at some point they decided to get rid of it. But once in a while during some sort of sales, the 40 stabilizers do make a comeback. And you get roughly 10, 12 stabilizers for free if you purchase the 40 stabilizer pack. Like it's roughly the price of, I would say 30, maybe 28-ish stabilizers. Any idea what Nix,
I
why they
remember.
removed it?
No, I'm not too sure. Speaking about the stabilizers pack, yeah, I remember. I've bought quite a few of those. What's the deal that's on those for right now? 2,700. Yeah, I feel like I've bought those in the past. They're a great price. If you're in for a quick and easy stabilizers, this is the way to do it.
This is pretty much as cheap as you can get the stabilizers. There might be an exception. Maybe the Resurgence Mega Capsule might give a similar deal. But overall, usually whenever I would get such a sale, I would buy at least one or two of those packs, so that then when we would get the next time capsule, I could open a whole bunch of them at a cheaper price. But you can see things like replay badges got a small sale. Also, things like stabilizers. Technically, there's no real sale for the stabilizer, but the
Right.
stabilizer pack is the sale. So if you buy a bulk of them, then you do save a bit of cash.
Right.
So you can
Did you
see.
buy anything from the sale,
No, not
personally?
yet. Not yet. I
I did.
have. Yeah.
I didn't, but I mean, like, the most things of what I buy when it comes to the marketplace is I look towards replay badges, and as you just pointed out, there really wasn't that much of a discount on them, so not really that big on buying something that's that expensive.
But things
I'll
like
wait.
you can see the edge metal detector seems cheap enough. I forget what the actual price is, but the seal of completion or seems to be 50% off. Dionysiums, I'm not sure if it's 50% off, but it seems pretty cheap right now. So if you ever need some stuff to be able to upgrade your artifacts, I guess now would be the time. But I recall that the artifact pack themselves are not, the XP packs themselves are not on sale. But you saw there's a whole bunch of components you need for your artifacts that seems to be on sale. I assume the same will be true with the augments. So if you still have to upgrade some of your augments, I guess you could try to benefit from that sale. In terms of style, I pretty much purchased everything, so it's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt to take a look at the prices. But yeah, like right now, if you ever wanted to have the Batman call, 90 cents for the Batman call, it's pretty much as cheap as you're ever going to get it. I assume the same is similar with the same with the Flash call. So if you don't have the Batman call just yet, and now you have no excuse, you can buy it from the marketplace for very cheap.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that they didn't put a artifact XP on for a sale, but that's okay. Honestly, it's not the end of the world.
You can see also the Champions material pack, $9 instead of $20. That's quite a substantial discount. Let's see, and the Royal Chrome Mimica pack is also pretty much on sale. So if you don't, often people will tell me that they cannot get some good materials. The Champions material pack and the Royal Chroma pack, these are some really nice materials, and you can get them for fairly cheap right now. So if you need some materials for cheap, now's the time. So you can see the various auras. So it's basically 90 cents per aura. So if there's an aura that somehow you were not able to get for your character for whatever reason, you can buy at least a few in the marketplace for less than a buck. And I know there's a bit of issues with the movement styles, but if there's some movement styles that you've been on the fence, you can see right now it's a little more than $3. So if you ever want, and it's for all your characters. The nice thing is, like, the sad thing is, if you purchase, let's say, the Green Lantern Ultimate Pack, uh, you do get the movement styles, but it's only for one character. As opposed to if you do purchase the movement styles from the marketplace, once you purchase it, then you can redeem it on all your characters. That's the one good thing. So for $3, you could get the movement style on every characters in your account. And I assume also now is the time to purchase a whole bunch of base items if you need to, or bases themselves. Let's see how much. I forget the regular price of the bases. 450. Nix might be able to help me out. Do you remember the full price for those?
For the
The layers, the various layers.
oh dang, no I don't. No, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't
That's all
know
right.
that off the top of my head.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. So if you ever needed some stuff to decorate your base, and a quick way. It's a quick way to be able to get a whole bunch of base items for your layer very, very quickly. Like oh, I can't seem to see it. Declare, mention layer. Ah, there we go. So like the flash base item pack or the Bat Cave, Bat Computer or Bat Cave, those packs are gives you a whole bunch of base items for not that much money. So if you want to be able to decorate your lair very quickly, again now would be a good time to do that. Or the splash pack. The splash pack is pretty awesome. And let's take a look at. So you can see the amenities themselves are 225. And let's see I could have sworn there used to be a pack where you had like three amenities, but I guess they removed those. Oh, and armories. If you need to purchase armories, the time is now. I know that a lot of people only want to play this Universe Online for free, but one thing that the teleporter is probably the one thing that you should purchase for your character, but also armories. Armories is another thing that you should purchase for your character. Uh, if we you can see right now it's 225 for one armory or $8.10 for four armories. So roughly $2, a little more than $2 per armory. So if you ever needed armories for your character, now's the time to do so.
Yes, I remember I waited until a sale to be able to get in on that. So that's interesting.
So for the legends, I pretty much purchased all the legends, but they pretty much all seems to be discounted very heavily. But sadly, they don't seem to be very popular. So unless, if obviously if you don't play Legends PvE or Legends PvP, you're not going to want to purchase those legends. But if you were waiting for a good deal to purchase those legends, the time would be now. And there's also a whole bunch of toys that you can purchase. These are pretty much uh, they're not very useful items, but in some cases they can be fun items. Like if you want to disguise yourself as a zombie or as a civilian, you could have fun with some of those items. As you can see, I purchased a few of them just for the fun of it. Like I have a few characters that will use a robot pterosaur or the small robot from time to time. I don't
Oh
know if
wow, you
me.
almost have all the Legends characters. You've done really well there.
Oh yeah, I didn't really care about the bombshell Catwoman and the bombshell Harley Quinn. I already have Harley Quinn and I already have Catwoman, so I didn't like the skin enough to even at that dollar 35, I didn't really want to purchase those. So if you ever needed to purchase some legends, now's the time. So there's some items that are discounted. Not everything is discounted, sadly. There's things like I forget.
What did it say on that DCUO
Uh, they,
forums page? I
they
think.
mentioned it on the and very small type, like obviously replay source marks, not source marks, stabilizers were not discounted. There's a few other items like that. The booster bundles were not discounted. So there's a few. I guess the best selling items they didn't bother to discount them. And sadly, I don't think they've discounted. Marketplace cash doesn't seem to be discounted either. But the market basically you purchase the marketplace cash really from through the PlayStation Store. So that's probably why it doesn't count into it. And the same for membership. If you look at the membership, I won't be able to show you. But the same with things like memberships. The memberships are still full price because it's not really something you can access it through the store, but then the store takes you to the PlayStation Store, and the PlayStation Store is a whole different beast. So if you want to have some discount on the memberships, that discount will have to come from the PlayStation Store itself, it seems. Hello, Bruno JP. Sorry, guys, I wasn't able to take a look at the comments. So that's pretty much it for the marketplace, unless Nix has something to add.
No, well, I'll read off what's not included within that within
Oh,
the
sure.
sale. Checking my screen here on right.
Oh, for Supreme Hunter, yes, the Bat Family Pack is discounted. It is, I think it's 22 something. Let's go take a look at the
So,
bundles.
so it only lists off like 4 or 5 items here, but time capsules, stabilizers, holly leaves, artifact XP, and booster bundles. Those are the only items that were left out. If there's anything else that's on there, it should technically be on a discount. But I mean, who knows if they've gone through every single solitary item to make sure that it did.
But again, the exception will also be the membership and the marketplace cash. So these are linked with the
Right.
PlayStation Store, so the discount doesn't seem to affect them. But for Hunter was asking about the Batman Family Pack, yeah, it seems to be about half price. So if you ever needed to purchase it, the time would be now. Also, someone was asking if it was only for one character or all the characters. Technically, it was only for one character, but by now we can pretty much use replay badges to unlock the Batman Beyond style if we need to. We can unlock the Nightwing style using replay badge. I'm pretty sure all those styles that you see in the Batman Family Pack, you can now unlock them using replay badges.
Somebody
So,
said that they bought 3 armories. That's a good idea. This is the time to do it
oh
while
yeah,
it's on sale.
if you need the armories, the time it's a good time to buy them. It's they're pretty much as cheap as they'll ever get. We used to have a pack of I think it was 24 armories. Again, I'm not sure why they removed those, but usually often I can show it here. You saw in my lair I have a lot of armories and even I have a lot of characters and most of them have two, three, four, sometimes more armories. That's pretty much how I was able to get some of those. Whenever we had a good sale like today, I purchased 4, 8, 24 of those, and then I would distribute them to my characters. So let's start with there's this little Christmas tree. I can't click on it anymore. I'm so sad. I
You can
guess
only click on it once a day.
yeah,
You shouldn't have clicked on it.
I saw that. Oh, too bad. So sad. So this is a tree we got. I think it was in 2017, 2018. It was a free gift, and at the time it was there was this 12 days of Christmas thing where you could click on the tree every day, and it would give you like a collection and a gift and something else. And sadly, nowadays you can click on it once. It does some nice lights, and that's pretty much it. Hello, Lord Dracul. Hello, David A. Zillion armories is always useful. Our friend Nix gave us some little lights. So basically, our friend Nix, the Black Mask, as I said, he's now known as Crazy Nix, not Evil Nix, Crazy Nix anymore. Now, he pretty much purchased all the Christmas seasonal base items. So let's go and take a look at the base items that our friend Nix got for us. We'll go by year so that it'll be easier to follow. So let us start with the base items from 2013, which are way down here. So this is pretty much the base items from the first Christmas seasonal, and you can see it's pretty much pretty traditional stuff, like a traditional Christmas tree, some gifts, uh, the name escapes me right now.
The U-logs, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not 100% sure. Could be.
So the
These,
fireplaces, the Yuletide log,
yeah.
also the screen with the Yuletide log.
It's actually not bad for considering this is the very first amount of base items and stuff that they've created for the seasonal. It's actually not the worst set of base items I've seen. Trust me, there will be worse.
So you can see the Santa sleigh, the garlands. The garlands are pretty cool. The mistletoe. So these are were pretty much the lights. Sadly, you said the top. These are for another year. I'll show it to you in just a minute. So the first year was pretty much basic Christmas base items that they added to this Universe Online. And then we
I
get,
thought I,
yeah,
I actually thought here for a moment that this was actually part of it.
no,
I was
that
like,
is,
"What is that base item? That looks so interesting."
it is a nice looking one, but it's the generator for the
Yes,
Atlantis base.
generator.
So in here we have the 2014 base items. Again, they stayed pretty traditional. I think this is supposed to be a Blue Lantern Christmas tree, but we don't see the symbol.
No, this is well. I mean, it could be on the very bottom of like that. I mean, maybe it's just being covered up, but that's stretching it, honestly.
I would say it's probably a glitch because we'll go take a look a bit later at the because there's the small version here. There's also a huge version that I had to put in the big room. We'll take a look at those huge
Right.
version in just a minute. But basically, it had again pretty much traditional base items. But for this year, somehow it was modeled after the Blue Lanterns. Like you can see the Blue Lantern symbol on the name escapes me right now. The crown here.
Oh, well, no, that's a reef.
The
The
wreath, the
reef.
wreath. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So you can see the Blue Lantern emblems on the wreath. I could have sworn we had the same emblem on the tree, but either I'm misremembering or somehow it's not there anymore. We have the Arkham
Oh,
Asylum gingerbread.
yeah, that was a pretty cool looking base item. I wish they made it a little bit bigger, but I'm not complaining. It looks
So,
quite nice.
so you can see there's a few lights. There's even the garland over there. And of course, there's a nice tree with the frosted windows. The nice windows with the frost in the windows. And of course, the Blue Lantern gifts.
Hope
And
you guys
then
are adding up all these items, because again, figure out how much holly leaves I've spent here.
and then
Again, the
we
hint I was given. Sorry, I'm not
yeah,
trying to interrupt you there.
that's all right.
Just a hint for you guys. 6 holly leaves is for most of these items, one at a piece. So keep guessing. Sorry, go ahead.
That's all right. We can pretty much move on to then 2015, where we have for 2015 they gave us a Superman tree. Again, there's a bigger version of the tree, but I had to put it upstairs in the big room, so we'll take a look at that a bit later. There's a Fortress of Solitude, which is kind of cool. If you have a Superman base, you pretty much have to have that Fortress of Solitude in your base. You have to. There's a gingerbread Star Labs, a little reindeer here.
Yes, the reindeer is terrifying. I don't understand its relevance to the rest of the items, but that's cool, I suppose.
Oh, and you saw the penguin jumped in the snow. So the snow, I've put a few puddles of water up in the air so that the penguins could interact with it, but it seems that they also interact with the snow here.
Yes, hands down, penguins are the best base item in DCUO. You cannot change my mind. There's no other answer. The answer is penguins. Any of those penguins.
So for the Superman, you can see there's a Superman tree and the Superman wreath that goes with it. There's a few icicles also. I could have sworn there's a whole bunch of icicles also we get from the vault. Icicles and snowflakes and that kind of stuff, or even the snowbanks.
These guys. Yeah, these guys. The slush snow. See, at least in this year's the tree, they actually put the symbols of Superman on the orbs,
Yeah.
on the bulbs, but they didn't with the 2014. Oh well, lost cause.
Well, I could have sworn they had, but I could be misremembering with the bigger version, because you'll see in the bigger version there is the symbols. And then we're getting into 2016, so we have a nice little train track. We have some ice sculptures. There's a whole bunch of ice sculptures. You can see the fox here. We have a nice little snowman here. Some more ice and snow here.
Oh yeah, the sculptures were a part of this set. That's right.
So you can see there's a whole bunch of not just icicles, but huge ones. And there's the Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, Robin laid an egg, the Batmobile lost a wheel, and the Joker got away. These are like 4 different base items.
Yes, I don't know why they had to be divided into 4 separate base items. My word. I mean, come on. Who wants? Oh yes, I definitely want 3 of the Batmobile lost a wheel. I definitely want that. That's relative to me.
Well, my guess is so that you can arrange it a bit any way you like in your lair. So you can arrange it a bit differently in your lair if you need to, or if you want to.
I guess.
So you can see the ice throne, the shark, the ice shark. I kind of like this one. The ice shark fountain. Forget the actual name. I had a huge long list with all the items. I had to make a list because it was, let's say, challenging to keep track of all of it.
I
Actually,
think it's called
actually,
the Frozen Shark Fountain. Just as simple as that.
I think these are 2018. Actually, 2016 is up here. Going too quick, too quick. Oh yeah, and we have to put some little Christmas music. So again, we have some more snow globes. We have a speaker that, as you can see, you can activate, and it activates the Christmas music. Sadly, if you want to have the music in everywhere in your lair, you're going to need more than one speaker. If you get away from the speaker, let me demonstrate it. Sadly, you don't hear it as well. So,
Oh, they got another reindeer? You gotta be kidding me in this year.
as you can see, when we get back to the speaker, we get to the music again. Yeah, and it was the reindeer was 2017, I think. There's a nice little thing here, a little bridge here.
Was this like the second bridge that they gave us? Because we had bridges in UM.
Yeah, there's other bridges.
But like that, this allowed people to be a little more creative when it came to making a seasonal base because it allowed you a little more freedom to work with your roof.
Yeah.
It's actually really nice, especially if you really want to expand on it and have like 4 or 5 of those together. Absolutely.
And here you can see for that year, the Christmas tree was a Wonder Woman Christmas tree. Again, there is a bigger version, but I have all the bigger versions together. We have the Wonder Woman wreath, the garland. Also, they started giving us like tables with lamps made out of legs somehow. Like this is the Harley Quinn one.
It's a prestigious award.
Is it?
You gotta watch the movie A Christmas Story. I watch it all the time on Christmas Day.
Okay, so that's why.
It's a tradition in my.
And you can see some very small toys on the floor. Like there's a small mammoth, there's a small spaceman, a tank, and a blimp. So these are all individual base items. And you
Easy
saw
to
the
miss
speaker stops playing at some point. And then, as Nix pointed out, there's another reindeer we got at some point. And here we got
No,
the
that's
Batman Christmas tree. Ah, you're so mean.
terrible. I don't like that. I don't like it.
The Riddler and the Joker Christmas tree.
Those aren't bad.
And we have another snowman here. And there's another lamp. This one is Catwoman, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm not sure why they made one of like all of the girls of DCUO villains rogue gallery, but they seem to want to go with it. So
Yes, they had something in mind. So you can see some more of the ice sculpture, like another throne, but this one more like a seashell looking. You can see a few ice waterfalls. There's a huge one over here. And there's also in the ceiling, you can see some sort of cloud like that you can place in your lair. So I could imagine if you have a whole lot of them, you could have like a whole cloudy roof on your lair if you want to. And for the Pengbots, I'm not sure which year they came from.
2016.
2016?
This guy came from 2017. This big guy is moving around there.
And sometimes you'll see the big guy, he'll freeze some items in your lair, he'll start to rotate and break the items. Sometimes those two pools of water, they don't come from the Christmas season. Oh, speak of the devil. Those two pools of water don't come from the Christmas seasonal, but sometimes the penguins do interact with them, so that's why I included them here. But you don't get them in the Christmas seasonal. They come from the summer seasonal, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
And then we'll move on to 2019. 2019 was a huge year for base items. Like here, we only have a small section. These are the Green Lantern base items. So you can see the wreath with the Green Lantern symbol. You can also see the garland with the same thing. There's a nice lantern emblem in the snow globe. There's the little choo-choo train. There's the two menorahs that come from 2019. There's various gifts, some green construct and some not so much. And also that year they started making green light, well, light construct trees. So we got the Green Lantern ones here. We have a huge Green Lantern gift here. And again, we have a small menorah, candy cane. I forget what the lamp here, what's it called? And there's a few stars that you can put, stars or snowflakes that you can put on the ceiling of your lair if you want to. And these are just the Green Lantern base items.
I think those are just a Green lantern.
So you can see here there's also some red lantern base items, yellow lantern, orange lantern, and some blue lanterns. For
Yes,
the
this was
blue,
2019. There was so many base items. In total, there was 68 base items for 2019. Holy.
and here you can
This
see the
took me
huge
ages.
trees I mentioned.
Oh yeah.
So that was the only place where I could really fit them. And here you can see the blue lantern tree. It does have the blue lantern emblem on
Oh,
the
you're
Christmas
right.
balls.
It does.
So I'm not sure why they didn't put it on the small one, or if it might be a glitch. Doesn't really matter. And also, for the blue lantern tree, you're gonna have to get a more traditional tree. But if you want, let's say a red lantern tree, then you're gonna have a red lantern construct. So there's some similarities between the base items. You would have thought that maybe they would have made, let's say, the reindeer and then make the reindeer in all the lantern colors, but somehow they've made them for the red and the blue lanterns only.
Yeah, there were some items that were very color selective when it should have been for all of them, really and truly. But oh
I guess there's a reason. We'll just never know what it is.
well.
So we
Like
can
there's no
here,
train set for orange. Well, that's weird.
yeah, no train set for the orange, but there's some garlands and some wreath. There's the huge gift. There's the tree, the candy cane, but yeah, no train set for the orange. The train set seems to be only for the red, the yellow, and the green lanterns, because there's no train set also for the blue lantern. And the big trees, so you can see here we have the Riddler tree, we have the Batman tree, we have the Joker tree, we have the Blue Lanterns, we have Superman, and we have Wonder Woman. So if you ever want, and obviously those trees should probably fit better in the league hall. But sadly, if you want to have defeat, you will have to consume it with your character, and then you'll have to get another one for your legal. Because if you give the tree to your legal, it's not going to give you defeat, sadly. And here we have the 2020 base items. We showed them to you some time ago in the test server, but here you can see them again. And the Lobo bikes, those are pretty awesome.
Again, I wish we could just move around in that. Like, if we could like activate with some sort of thing that we can activate, then we can move around in the base. It doesn't have
Oh
to be
yeah,
a new movement
oh yeah.
mode, but
Would have been nice, but
oh well.
yeah, Shinobite, we're going to go play the bounties in just a minute. We wanted to show all the Christmas base items first.
Is that all of them? Are we done?
Yeah, that's pretty much all of it. I thought it would fill the base a bit more. I was a bit worried that I would not be able to fit them all in this base. But in some cases, like when I got to 2018, I was a bit worried because those big ice sculpture, I thought they would take a lot of place. But luckily, some of the earlier years, like 2013, didn't take that much room. And 2019, even though there was a lot of base items, a lot of them, oh yeah, I forgot to show like you can see there's some snowflakes with the yellow lanterns. There's the reindeer here with the red lanterns that goes on the ceiling. So a lot of them were pretty small base items, like the menorah, the blue lantern menorah. It's a pretty small base items. So there was a lot of base items for 2019, but a lot of them were pretty small base items. So in the end, I was able to fit it all. But I have to at some point I thought I would have to use 2 layers to be able to show everything, but actually 1 layer was enough. So
All
these are
right,
pretty
so
much
that's pretty
all
much
the
all of our base
Christmas.
items.
Yeah, these are pretty much all the base items, the Christmas base items that you can get during the Christmas seasonal. So you can get all those base items from the Christmas seasonal vendor, obviously. So if you want to have some of those base items, you will have to farm and farm the Christmas seasonal missions and purchase those items from the Christmas seasonal vendor. So Nix wanted us to go check out his base.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you can take some of those base items of what you guys are seeing right now, but I've made a creative base. We'll just quickly go through it, and then we'll go to bounties for you guys. I wanted to show it off. I don't take many people to this area, but it's called my sanctuary.
I just need to find you in the thousands of bases I have. So it's the sanctuary. Oh, we can see some people guessing. 167, 197, 507.
Welcome to the sanctuary. I don't even think I've even showed this off to my league yet.
I think you have a lot of penguins.
Yep, I gotta make sure I feed crypto here.
Are you penguin sitting for your friend the penguin?
I cannot confirm or deny that.
Okay. I don't want to ask if it's the Danny DeVito penguin.
Summon my water guy, and then move on through. For more penguins and more ice. I think this is Gotham City. I'm not 100% sure about that.
Yeah, it's from the Earth 3 DLC.
It's either the Earth 3 DLC or that Solo, the Iceberg Lounge.
No, it's from the Earth 3 DLC. I have
That's
it.
probably it.
It's the technically it's the Gotham City from Earth 3, the municipal hall, I think.
So guys, this is what it looks like when you completely fill up a base. And you probably have already guessed it. The main item that I have here a lot is rows of icicles. So I had to use so much currency back in the day. I did this like probably 2 years ago. I did this. A lot of ice, absolutely a lot of ice. And you come down here, there's even more.
I'm disappointed. There's none up here.
I don't think I could put any up there because I had to space them out.
Okay.
But
And you
like
can
this
see
is already a
also,
max.
you can see covered the ground with snow. So that's a lot of icicles.
And of course my armories. I have a lot of security. Absolutely right there. IVIR1. You can't be too cautious. Can't let any heroes in here too often without a very short leash. Come on, Mr. Multiverse. Don't get too caught up in this base.
Too late.
But yes, I call this my sanctuary. Wherever I need to just turn on the music in here and just work on something. But alright, enough about this base. I probably have like 7 Emperor Penguins, 8 of the Frigid ones, and about 5 or 6 of the Pingbots. So, I mean, I have lots of penguins here. And of course, Crypto and the Morgwar. Alright, let's go doing the bounties.
Sure. So I'm sure you guys know by now, but just in case you don't, there's double currencies for the Legion DLC. There's double currencies for the Empyrean Ether. Ooh, that sounds wrong. The Time Beacons.
Yes, time beacons, not aethers. I probably made you say that by accident.
Sorry.
It will be a pleasure to serve you.
So there's double currency for the Time Beacon. So if you need some components to be able to upgrade, or even if you need some neural access coils, actually they're pretty cheap right now. And also, I'm not sure why someone would purchase the mods. The difference between the mods 39.3 and 39.4 is not that big. So 150 time beacons just to get a few extra stats. Maybe Nix will correct me and tell me I'm crazy, but that doesn't seem to be worth it.
He is, and there's a couple reasons why I'm behind it. Yes, the stats of what you can get off from it's not just the one that you would get that's added on. Like it's like four of those upgrading up your might. Now I'm not sure exactly what the difference is between the last DLC's point 4 generator mods to this one, but if there's 4 of them all together, it's pretty good. And of course, not to mention, there's 2 feats behind it. You get a feat for having 1 of the new generator mods, and there's a feat for having all 12.
So now you know. So let's start by picking up our free marks. So we should get twice what we usually get.
Is up to this challenge. I believe in us.
So you can see the solar credits, we got twice the amount.
The Fatal Five are taking advantage of all the chaos.
Oh yeah, I did my weeklies already. No worries.
Help safeguard Legion Academy students.
I wish Static always had a mission every week. That's what I wanted when this DLC started up.
Not one mission and that's
I
it.
sensed malicious intent behind
I
the wild
guess.
surges of magic. Please count.
So I guess we're gonna start with Lightning Lad. He seems to be. Let's go see if we can. If there's a bounty group actually fighting him. Nace might correct me on that, but I find it a bit challenging sometimes to find a phase where there's enough people fighting the bounties, and sometimes there are people fighting the bounties, but nowhere near enough to be able to succeed. Like here, you can see there's no one. So I end up having to shift phase until I finally find one.
Yeah, this would be rough if we were to attempt this ourselves. So we're probably going to have to use LFG to try to figure out where is the best phase for us to go to. So I'm going to start communicating that with my league to try to find a good spot for us.
Sammy Quickster is telling me there's a phase, so I'll try to phase with him.
Alright, once you're there, let me know.
Nah, the current phase is full. That's the other challenge also. Sometimes you do find a phase where there are people, but too many people, you can't go there. So that's the first challenge. And the other challenge is that sometimes, even if you do find a phase where there's enough people doing the bounties, sometimes after one, two bounties, the group falls apart and you end up with, again, not enough people. So I couldn't really. I had a hard time lately to try to spend, like, say, an hour or 2 hours just playing the bounties because sometimes after one or two bounty, then I had to look for a new group, a new phase, a new. So it's been a bit. It's been more challenging than with the Wonderverse bounties. And the irony is that it was still easy enough to be able to get into a phase for the Wonderverse bounties. There's people who offered various explanations as to why, but it should have been easier to get a phase for the Legion bounties at this point, but I guess not.
Try to phase on me now.
Oh, we're not grouped together.
Well, we can't be because I'm a villain and you're a hero.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Now it says it's full now.
Dang. Alright, well, if you get to a phase, let me know. This is like half the battle, so like there's plenty of time to dream or.
So usually the trick is you go to looking for group and you try to find people that are fighting the bounties and you try to phase with them. It's pretty much the. Oh, sorry, Nix. I think I cut you off without meaning to.
Oh, that's fine. No, I think I cut you off.
No, I switched. I wanted to switch to LFG and I switched also my chat.
Oh, okay.
So here you can see obviously there's just a couple of people, so it won't really happen. So let's look at if you look at looking for group, you'll see there's a lot of people ask for people to face for Hydra or to face for Patchwork bounties. So there's still a lot of people that are playing the Patchwork bounties. You would think and last week I could understand we had the double currency for the Patchwork bounties, and also the Wonderverse DLC was added to the open episodes. But before that, the bounties were not added to the open episodes. So a couple of weeks ago, only legendary players or people who owned the Wonderverse bounty could actually play the Wonderverse bounties, and there were still more people playing those bounties than the Legion bounties somehow. So let's try to see if we can phase with. At this point, you try to phase with anyone, and if you manage to find a good phase, then you stay there.
Not seeing a good phase yet. Anything on your end?
Yeah, phase where I am, there's a lot of people right now.
Oh, that's so annoying. You don't even think you're even in combat, and it tells you you cannot phase while you're in combat. And it's like, I'm not even fighting anything right now.
Yeah, but sometimes if you're just a little too close to the bounties, they'll consider you in combat somehow.
I'll keep trying, especially after your Validus fight. Yeah, because your phase is full.
It's sad. So that's sadly there are a few, let's say, issues or challenges, and I saw a lot of people not too happy with the Legion DLC on the forums. There's even people can vote right now for their favorite DLC, and some people are review bombing basically the Legion DLC by voting for the I think it's the last laugh.
Yeah. The last laugh won. It beat out the Legion.
So
good grief.
Apparently people did that in protest because they don't like the Legion DLC, which is something we could kind of guess, but now it's pretty much official. I've seen people try to make excuses about that. And the other challenge also, I wonder when the eye will appear. We had quite a few group this week, especially yesterday. Oh, actually, the eye is gone.
That's the other thing. People who don't understand the mechanics behind it, or the mechanics are just too complex, you'll never be able to get down the objectives as to what you need to do.
Well, usually you'll see someone mention the eye in the chat, like they'll say the eye, or focus on the eye, and sometimes people still don't respond. They keep on fighting whoever they're fighting, and then we ran out of time before we could defeat Validus. So. Not so bad with Cosmic Boy or for the other bounties, but Validus, I've seen quite a few failed attempts this week.
I think I've seen 2 people be able to take out Cosmic Boy. He's by far the easiest bounty that we've gotten.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that's why also. Because sometimes the people fight Cosmic Boy, and then the group falls apart. It's as if people just go to fight Cosmic Boy to get the weekly, and then they leave. But there's one day also where, holy crap, the bounties were a lot harder than I remembered. I don't know if they had a stealth buff during the week or something.
Is it that, or is it the phase wasn't as busy as what it needs to be in order to be able to get done the bounties?
Could be. It's hard to tell. It's like another complaint also that I keep on seeing is the drop rate for the crystals and the ionized gas. And according to maps, they did set some parameters for the drop rate for those. They should drop as expected. Apparently at some point there was some mathematical error, which is why the drop rate was messed up a bit. But supposedly they fixed that. So if somehow the drop rate is still not what people would like it to be, it's supposed to be working as intended right now. So Validus is down for the count.
Alright, I'll try and phase to you.
So as you can see, basically we got twice the time beacons because of the double currency event. But also, I get extra time beacon because of the augments that I have, and those time beacons are also twice the amount. So if you have your augments upgraded to rank, I think it was rank 3 or rank 6, I forget. Thanks to your augments, you can get some extra time beacon. And now that we have double, that means a lot of time beacons. So I would suggest if you do find a phase where you can, where it seems to go well to defeat the bounties, stay there as long as you can because you don't know when it's going to happen again, and you don't know also how long it's going to last. It's one of the reasons also it took me a while to upgrade the Omnipotence face mask. It's because at some point I would try to get into groups or to find a phase, wouldn't find a phase, and then I would go do something else. And there's some days where I wouldn't play the bounties at all because of that.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, the offline thing, a lot of people have been mentioning that. I have no idea why that is. Sometimes people try to look me up and it says that I'm offline. So I have no idea. I don't know if there's some issues with looking up for people. Is there a way to be invisible that I activated that I don't know about? As far as I know, I don't think there's an option to be able to appear offline. Nix might correct me on that.
I think it's because of your name. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's Multiverse, and it's not an I, it's an L, isn't it?
Yes.
So maybe that's why. So when people are typing it out, Multiverse, as to having the I, as they always do, when they're talking to you, like let's say Agent Phil Coulson here, he says, "Hi Multiverse, how are you doing?" That I isn't necessarily his name, it's an L.
Yes.
So try that instead. I remember when I was first communicating with you, I had the hardest time getting a hold of you, because I was like, well, why is his name not coming up for me?
Oh yeah, I had to cheat. Whenever I have a name in all caps like I have right now, usually there's one letter that I had to cheat. In this case, the I is actually a small L. So whenever you see some of my characters and you see the name in caps, it's because one of the letters is not what it seems.
The multiverse, let's answer the question. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
All right, Agent Phil Coulson, he's doing good.
I don't know what it is in your neck of the woods, Nix. Here we're pretty much in lockdown, so there's not much to do. But
Yeah,
oh, and then there you are.
yeah, I managed to get him.
Well, I heard they're going to lock down Ontario completely on the 26th. Is that it?
Yep, that's right. Because our caseloads are getting a little out of control here.
But they're still allowing people to come in by plane somehow.
We had a question from I'm just Sam Pro. He's asking the winner will be announced. I'm gonna do it at the end of this video, so right when we're about to end it. So in case you need to see it, like let's say you can't make it to the very end of this video and you're on your way out right now, just find this video again on Multiverse's channel, as you'll always have them up, and look at the very end, and that's where it'll be. Yes, we're both from Canada.
Just not the same province.
Yes, my province is better than his.
Everyone knows Vancouver is the better province. Actually, it's just a city. Alberta. No, British Columbia. Yeah, you can see my geography is rusty a bit.
Mm-hmm. You don't say.
Well, it's been a long time since I had to use it at all. Oh, you're welcome, Reverse Flash.
Very nice. You're right on your way. That's right, you gotta grind those stabilizers. That's the whole point. That's what you gotta do.
And sadly for the bounties, there's no miracle. You defeat one bounty, you go to the next, and you wait. It
Nothing will keep me from my new mission.
The worst part is, again, as I said, this Cosmic Boy fight is the easiest.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the problem is, after you're done beating him up, you have to wait out the full, 6 minutes. Where in other bounties, you guys will notice, it takes a little while.
Also, if somehow the fight lasts long enough for the eye to try to send its beam on you, you can hide behind, let's say, the car, and the car will protect you from the eye. But sometimes the fight doesn't last that long, so... Oh, actually...
I mean, you say sadly, I say that means that's good burn. I want good burn in your face.
As you saw, we were able to... Oh! So as you saw, the eye is nasty.
Can be. But yeah, my whole league pretty much is spamming the bounties because they're trying to get done their totals.
On my way with the
It's the best time to be working on your bounties and stuff like that. Just don't forget about your family.
And sadly, no crystals just yet.
No crystal for me either.
I've seen a lot of stories about people who would run the bounties 20 times, 50 times, and still get no crystals. Sadly, that's random. The random number generator for you. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. There's no magical formula. All you can do is run the bounties as much as you can and hope to get lucky. And the same with the booster bundle. I've seen a lot of theories about how to get the cosmic chroma on the booster bundles. Or I've seen a few snake oil merchants who were trying to sell tricks on how to get the booster the cosmic chroma on the booster bundle. There's no miracle. You hope to get lucky, and if you're lucky, good. If you're not lucky, too bad, so sad. You try again next time.
So Davey said that he bought a respec token, changed his body type from athletic short to medium. He says it makes all the difference. I disagree, because I hear about it all the time, saying that having the smallest appearance benefits you in various ways in this game. I don't see it.
And Justice Barcia, I'm sorry that your league died. It happens. There were quite a few times in DC Universe Online's history that were what we call the league killers, where you would see a lot of leagues pretty much disappear overnight. Hopefully, you'll find a new league, or you can. It's that one of the things I kind of like is that you don't really need a league. Obviously, if you don't have a league, there's a lot of things you won't be able to do, but you can still play quite a good chunk of the game by yourself. So yeah, it would be better to have a strong league, especially if you want to do stuff like the elite content. But if not, you can play well enough without having a strong lead. For Josie, is that Jose or is it Jose? Is asking how do you get all the materials, Void, Cosmic? For the Void, you can purchase it from our friend Booster Gold. It won't be cheap, but you can purchase it from him. Otherwise, you have to buy it you have to hope to be able to buy it from the broker. And I can't recall the last time I saw the Void material or any of the collections for the Void material on the broker. And for the Cosmic material, there's nothing you can do at this point. It's pretty much the same thing. It's been a long time since it's been released, and it's no longer available right now. If you're really, really lucky, you might see it on the broker, but you'll see it on the broker for like 900 millions. Or you'll see it on the trade chat. Maybe, I don't know if Nix uses the trade chat. I don't really use the trade chat, but Nix might know a thing or two about that. There's items like the Cosmic Material. At this point, you pretty much can only get them from the trade chat. Or even the new Cosmic Chroma. The few times I saw it on the broker, it was there for like 2 seconds and it sold right away.
Trade chat can work in your favor and it can work against you too, because there's a lot of spam of what people put on those chats. But for the majority of the time, for those expensive items, that's like the only place you are going to see people offering those things. Like I have one right now that says, willing to sell, willing to trade glorious, scorching, and surging chromas. And that's likely because the majority of those chromas, you're not going to see them on the broker because they're just so expensive. They go beyond the broker. Like, we're talking billions.
Yeah. Like Jose is asking, but the same would be true also for Elliot, like the original Nimbus Plasmic Aura. These are worth probably in the billions by now. So I would be really, if you ever see them on the broker, if you can afford to buy them, because you'll probably never see them again. And even in the chat, in the trade chat, I'm not sure if people are still selling those. And if they are, they're probably asking $1 billion, $2 billion, maybe more. Sadly, some items by now are very, very rare, so they become very expensive.
Oh, for sure.
But for the trade chat, you have to be extra careful. Sadly, I see a lot of people who try to sell items outside of the broker and end up getting scammed. It's something that happens, let's say, often enough that it's a concern.
Oh yeah, I've been scammed twice in my time on DCUO. Yeah, for sure. It happens. You just gotta be very cautious about it and be willing to take the risk if you're willing to use it. How is PC DCUO? We are limited. I mean, the gameplay is the exact same, from my perspective anyways. When it comes to how we accomplish some of our stuff, it's a little different because PS players have it a little bit easier on their broker. There are some items. There are some items that appear for both sides, but there's also some, like, let's say for example, our catalysts.
Oh,
okay. They are console only those guys can get that, or only PC players can get those ones. So for us, it was a bit of a struggle. We actually had a time capsule. I think it was like 2 or 3 time capsules ago. Almost all of the items were of PC-only players, or only PS players. And I remember actually, I would go over that and I would say that there was some items, they were cheaper on the PlayStation side than they were for us PS or PC players. So it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's a little chaotic. Sometimes it can work good for us, and sometimes not so much.
It used to be nice on PC. Before the merge on PC, you would often play with the same people, especially on the villain side. The villain side was very, very small compared to the hero side, and very often you would end up with the same guys over and over. So you would pretty much get to know each other well enough that very often you would end up with guys that you had already run mission with, so sometimes it would make things a bit easier to run. But also I remember when they merged the servers, Nix may have experienced that. A lot of people were complaining because the population on PC and on the PS4 or PS3 at the time was, let's say, a bit different. So the PC players weren't too happy at first to be stuck with the PS3 players.
We still aren't. You aren't our equivalent by any means. Actually, I don't think I was around when they first merged it, but I remember hearing the stories. So we'll see. Either liked it or they didn't like it.
Well, before the merge, it was a bit, let's say, nicer on the PC side. You had an older crowd, so you had normally more mature people. Obviously, sadly, as you discover at some point, there's a lot of, let's say, 40-year-olds that are as bad, if not worse, than 12-year-olds. But as a rule of thumb, the population was a bit older on PC at the time.
It's true. Villain side's a little more on your older side, and they can be a little provocative at times. Hero side, there's a lot of kids. A lot of kids. Do you still have your Cosmic Green Lantern multiverse?
I don't think so. I think I changed my armory. I'm preparing another video, so I had to use the armory for something else. So I'll probably make my video maybe tomorrow.
Alright, so you'll see that video there, the reverse flash.
The most expensive Nimbus, probably the OG Nimbus. Pretty sure it was a white Nimbus, but it wasn't called like. It was just called Nimbus. It wasn't called white or anything,
Nimbus.
but the
Yeah.
Nimbus itself was white.
Should I create a Superman rebirth? Shinobite is asking.
Sure, why not? The only challenge would be the Superman emblem. At this point, the 50th anniversary, the 80th anniversary Superman emblem is no longer available, and neither is the BVS Superman emblem. So you're gonna have to settle with either the House of L chest piece or with what I'm wearing right now, the Fallen God style, to be able to get a Superman emblem. Or you might use the forget, is it Agent Zero or Agent One?
What about the Ultraman?
Oh yeah, the Ultraman emblem. Well, it won't be obviously. It'll be the evil Ultraman. It won't be a Superman, but yeah, the Ultraman emblem is nice enough.
Everywhere I go, I see old people like Hero. I find kids, but not that much. Jose? I would agree with you, so I would say stay away from Hero's side. They all stink anyways.
Nah, you're so mean.
Especially that guy named Multiverse.
Actually, ironically enough, the not so nice kids that I saw in game most of the time, they were like late 20s, early 30s. I remember quite a few missions where I would run with. There was this one time there was this guy who was playing with his 12-year-old kid, and holy crap, was the kid well behaved. That was it was nice to see. But usually when I end up with actual 12-year-old kids, they're usually behave well enough. It's usually the 28-year-old or 32-year-old kid that are not so well behaved sometimes.
Right, I mean, you're trying to get your objective done and whatever your alert or your raid is, and you hope you're not dealing with somebody who's immature and costing your group and the reason why you guys don't succeed. So, yes, you see it on both sides. It's just, you hope it just doesn't happen that often.
It's just at some point on PC, the population was small enough that you pretty much knew almost everyone. So it was easier, let's say, to be with people that you had already run before and that you knew that they weren't going to be AOs.
Who is your favorite villain? Well, if you mean by comics in general there, Mr. Shinobite, he's asking me. Yes. It would be from my name in itself. Let's say it out loud. Nyx the Black Mask. I think I might know who my favorite villain is.
Come
Now,
on,
if
no.
you're gonna say a player that maybe I work with, oh, probably my league leader, Caroline. She also has a Twitch channel. If you guys watch Twitch channels, she does streams on her channel. Tell her if you happen to see any of her videos when she's streaming or when she goes live, tell her Nick sent you.
Come on, no one
you
likes
don't.
the Black Mask. No one
Or you
even
don't
went to
have
see his movie.
I know. Oh God, don't even talk about that movie. I have a hard time talking about that movie every time.
And then still they're talking
I have
about making a sequel.
A sequel. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I get people who send me tells every once in a while saying, "Hey, I saw that movie," and I'm just like, "Good. Let's not talk about that. Let's move on. What else do you want to talk about? How's your league doing? How's your day going?"
So it's a good way to end the conversation. You start talking about that.
Yeah, my gosh. Yes. How about Comic Hero? Comic Hero? My favorite comic hero? Heroes are terrible. They're all awful. I don't have one. Maybe Batman, I guess. Ugh.
But the best time for Black Mask, I think, was in the Nightwing series, the Chuck Dixon one from the 90s.
I'm impartial to that one, or even the Arkham series. The Black Mask that was used in those video games. Yeah.
Hello, Saku the Great. Hello, Brian Jr. Welcome to the Multiverse, Brian.
So we're almost at the point where we're going to be wrapping up, guys. Any last minute guesses on how much currency? I've already written down somebody who was very close. Somebody made a pretty close guess, but he also threw a lot of guesses on there. So I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna go with this one that I wrote down. So take a guess. How many holly leaves do you think it took for me to get the majority of those base items in Multiverse's base? Not money. People are saying like 5 billion or 4 billion or 3 million, and it's like, no. I'll give you a hint. It's under 2,000 holly leaves, okay? That's your last hint you're getting out of me. Under 2,000.
Tokyo Big Mac is asking about my future Flash video. I'll try to make it soon. It's a video that I've been meaning to make for ages, but somehow there's always something else that takes the priority. But no, I'll try to make my future Flash video soon. There's a whole bunch of videos. I should make not just a future Flash, but a Flash video period, or even a Jay Garrick video that I had in the pipeline. So I was able to make some Kid Flash videos the other day. I was planning to make a more Flash video at that time, but then a lot of new stuff came out. So sometimes I'll plan to make certain videos, and then DC Universe Online will release something like the booster bundle that will require me to make a whole bunch of videos, or they'll release a new DLC. So I have to adjust my plans, and sometimes sadly there's some videos that hello Jeffrey Beelane. So sometimes I'll plan to make certain videos, and then something happens and it pushes those plans a bit further. And there's a lot of videos that I could make, so I take it one day at a time, try to make as many videos as I can. But sometimes I have to change my plans according to what happens. Maybe not yet, Jeffrey. I'm drowning right now in videos. I have so many videos that I should make. I'm not sure why I would find the time. Like even the future state video. I have a future state video that I'm planning to make, and I just can't get around to making it because there's always something else to do. But soon, Jeffrey, I'll try to get to your challenge soon. I just can't. I'm drowning in videos right now.
You really are. Ever since you got that cosmic chroma, that's become a huge concept for you because there's just so many good styles that you can make from those.
Oh yeah.
I do wish I had gotten one of those, just one of those cosmic chromas, but they're just too darn expensive right now.
I'll teach you to sell it.
I know, right?
How much did you sell it for? 2 billions?
1.5. It was too early on. I should have waited. It's like worth like 3 billion right now.
Yeah, it's the demand is really high, so and I can understand why. Let's switch. It does look really good. And people, I made a few Cosmic Chroma video, but I'll probably have one or two more to make because people really seems to enjoy that Chroma. And I want to see also if, like in the case of, there's people who wanted to see the Cosmic Spider-Man. Because obviously, if you want to create the Cosmic Spider-Man, you need that material. But you don't want to spend 3 billions only to realize that the look sucks for the character. So a lot of people have been asking for Cosmic Chroma videos because they want to know if it's worth it to spend 3 billions on it. I
I
can't wait
do
to.
like that look though of the Spider-Man, Cosmic Spider-Man. I watched that and I was like, oh, that looks really solid. And also, your Green Lantern I think was one of my favorite ones.
It was a little too dark for my taste, but
It worked though.
pretty much any styles, works well enough. And Jeffrey,
Albert,
I can't wait to see your Superman. I hope you get your PS5 soon. Sadly, I won't get a PS5 until next year. Right now, they're pretty much sold out everywhere.
Albert Visor is wondering how many skill points that you have, as well as what are your artifacts like.
Let's see, how many skill points do I have? I have 407 skill points right now.
That's it?
Yeah.
Ugh.
And for the artifacts, sure. Right now, the artifacts I have are the Bird of Precomlink that I've increased to 200. There's the Grimbor's Chains at 157, and there's the Amulet of Ra that's also 200. Oh, let's go fight Validus and.
Free Validus, my legion fools. Lightning lad.
Both good. The Superwoman emblems create a more probably works better for a more retro version of Superman. If you wanted to create, let's say, Superman from the 50s or the 60s, I guess I would go for the Superwoman emblem. If you want to go for the Rebirth Superman, yeah, I would probably go with the Ultraman. Ultraman looks a bit more modern, I guess. Or would we use the Subject Zero emblem? That's probably the better option.
The Starro Whistle. Oh wow, I haven't heard anybody bring that up in a long time. Do you
That's
have that?
Yeah, I have it. I think in my bank somewhere. It's
Exactly.
a fun enough item to have, but there's at some point there's an embarrassment of riches. There's so many pets right now that we can have. We have to make a choice, and we can't use them all.
Agreed. I'm in the same boat. I think I have it in my base too, in my my bank, taking up space.
I was
Too
talking.
many things.
Jeffrey was talking about the Superwoman emblem, not Supergirl. Sorry, Nix, I cut you off.
No, that's fine. I was just saying. I remember I have so many things in my bank that just take up space. Like I have all my omnipotent items from going back to. Oh, what's my furthest back one? Probably. Oh, what's that raid called? What is that raid called? Give me a second. I'll have to look it up.
Like right now, we got a whole bunch of new henchmen. So if you already had some pretty like we got some pretty cool henchmen for Halloween, like the creepy critters. I don't know about Nyx, but I love those henchmen. And now we got the Green Lantern henchmen, or the Red Lantern henchmen, or Yellow Lantern henchmen. So at some point, you have so many of them. It's kind of hard to decide which one to use.
It is hard. Kind of go off with whatever your character is based off of. So, I mean, there are some henchmen that are actually really good right now. Like the Lanterns, they're some of the best henchmen you can have. Cersei's Beastiamorph, I think, just outweigh them just a little bit. They're really strong right now. So if you're looking for what is the strongest henchman to have in the game, go with those ones. Your Lanterns they're up next. So you can't go wrong almost with all of them. They're a little bit different on their power levels. I think the Red Lanterns are the best, the strongest ones right now. There was a glitch actually at one point with those lanterns. The Red Lanterns were pretty much like the Rage tanks, and they could actually pull things around. Henchmen that could pull things around, even in elite content. Needless to say, they had to change that. pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, Jeffrey, the Lobo motorcycle, that should have been something we should have been able to move with.
I know, I'm envious about that. I wish we could have done that. Or I should say, jealous if they had done it. Maybe one day.
Ah. Call the supply drop half a second too late.
Oh, you're dead.
I'm back.
The other thing, we can't pick you guys up either. I think this is the first time we're doing content separate to being in different factions. Like, I'm on my villain and you're on your hero. I think that's the first time we've done that. We'd always try to synchronize things. Like, I would be on my Frostnix if you're on your main, or you'd be on the Dark Multiverse if it was on my main.
For the supply drop, I have to admit, I'm still using the first one we got. I don't really care about the new ones they released. There might be one that would be cool that somehow I'm not thinking about, but for the supply drops, now I'm still using the OG one.
Oh, I got no shards. An entire drop. Nothing? Did you get anything? No?
Nah, nothing.
Nothing. My favorite supply drop is the mercenary one that we got from the Teen Titans DLC. The new ones right now in that new elite content, it's like one of my last feats I think I need in this DLC. They look like jelly beans. So people say, drop the jelly beans if we need a supply drop, so it's kind of funny.
I saw people drop some sort of crate with healing barrels in it. Am I crazy, or?
Oh, with healing barrels? No, I don't think that's a thing.
Okay.
Alright, are we about ready here? Let's go back to our vendors.
Oh, sure.
Alright, you guys are curious? You guys having your last minute guesses? I'll go through the comment section as effectively as I can to make sure that I've made it nice and fair. I am going to give people who have guessed like 5+ times, like only on those 5. I don't want to go more than their 5 because I know there were some people who threw 100 guesses, and that's really not fair to some of the other people who have made their guesses. But in case I'm right, I wrote down somebody who I think was the closest, and it was Connor McNamar, who guessed 1,200. And the actual number is 1,292 holly leaves. That was the most stressful amount of leaf gathering I have ever had on a seasonal. It took me several days to run all of my tunes to get that many holly leaves to you. That's how many base items. Like 68 just for 1 year. That's absolutely absurd. That's 408 holly leaves for just that one set. Anyways, so I've written down Connor McNamar. I could be wrong. I'll go back over the comment section just to see and to make sure it's fair. And if there is a different name, we'll make sure we'll make an announcement. But it looks like Connor will be getting the 100 million. I will send it to you. I will find a way to communicate with you in some form or another, and I'll send it off to you. So congrats. It seems like it will be Connor, but if it's anybody else, I will have a look in our comment section during this live stream. So thanks for playing along, guys.
And for Jeffrey, for the question you're asking, what do you have? What should we ask to the devs on Twitter? Yeah, Coast City would be a nice thing to ask for. Personally, I would ask for more cosmic materials, because sadly, I think a lot of people are going to not get a cosmic material with this booster bundle. The demand is way too high, and the drop rate, I guess, is way too low compared to the demand. So I guess if you could ask the devs on Twitter for more cosmic materials, I think some people will appreciate that, because a lot of people sadly won't be able to get the cosmic material, not with the current drop rate. So, any suggestion, Mr. Nix?
What kind of a question that you would ask them, or like content that you would want to have added to the game?
Question you could ask the devs. Our friend Jeffrey often go ask questions to the devs on Twitter or ask go make requests. So if there's any request you think he should make, now's the time to mention it.
I have a great one. Now, and it doesn't even take that many words to even get out. Have a DLC about the Black Mask. That's it.
Okay.
No, if I was to be actually serious about it, like if I was to be like legit, I would say I want another DLC that's either the Flash, where it's actually about the Flash, like the Reverse Flash and that kind of stuff, or will you bring in a DLC that's about I want more about the Black Lanterns. There's more storylines that they could do with the Lanterns. Like, I think there was, like, the Cosmic Lanterns. Maybe we get a DLC about the White Lanterns a little bit more. There's so much that they could work on it.
And for Jeffrey, the roll chroma materials, you have to buy them from the marketplace. If you buy them from the marketplace, everyone has access to them. Like, and I forget the price. So the roll chroma mega pack is right now it's 11.25 marketplace cash, and you can redeem it on every single characters in your account. So that's it's a pretty cool looking material. If people have a hard time getting chromas in game, like right now the Cosmic Chroma is the one that is very much in demand, and sadly the demand is way too high compared to the supply. So as Nick's mentioned on the trade chat, it sells for as much as 3 billions.
Yeah, it's crazy right now. Do you guys want a Batman Beyond DLC? Oh, that would be divine.
That would be nice. Batman Beyond is a very popular character. Strangely enough, when we first heard about a teenage Batman, let's say it was a hard sell, but the episodes, especially the first 6 episodes, I think they had made like a DVD with like the first 6 episodes, and holy crap, was that good. And basically it was like a mixture of Batman and Spider-Man, like a younger Spider-Man mixed with Batman, and we ended up with Batman Beyond. So yeah, Batman Beyond DLC would be pretty awesome.
I think the Batman Beyond has like 3 seasons to it. Like it's big. It
had 3 or 4 seasons, I forget, but yeah, there was quite a few seasons, and they managed somehow. They weren't able to finish the story within those seasons, but what they ended up doing is that they had a Justice League episode that was pretty much able to give some closure to the Batman Beyond storyline. And Shadowbite is asking, is Lightning a good power? Personally, I love it. I use it with my Saturn Knight, and obviously with my Flash character. I like it. The only thing some people seems to think it consumes a lot of power when you heal. If you know how to manage your power, it's not really an issue. So that's probably the one caveat I would have, is that it might be a bit power hungry. But personally, I love using it.
All right, I think that about wraps it up for us.
As for other DLCs that are not over, Jeffrey, none comes to mind. I'm pretty sure there's some storylines that are still not completed, but I just can't think of one right now. So we're pretty much done, Mr. Nix?
Yeah, I just got a comment from Blood Money 187. He's like, "What about a future Batman DLC?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." There was so much that they could work with when it came to the Nexus DLC. I mean, whatever they wanted to accomplish with it, I mean, the sky was the limit. There's just so much that you can work with because there's multiple worlds, right?
Oh yeah. Well, you would think there would be more Batman or Superman content. These are pretty much their 2 more popular characters, and somehow the game has been pretty light on content for both of those. I know that there's always people complaining that there's too much Batman content, but Batman is pretty much the more popular character that DC has right now. Arguably, Superman is more popular, but not everyone agrees on that. But so you would think that they would try to push forward their more popular characters so that they would please as many people as possible. But it's not really what's happening. I sometimes wonder if maybe there's some sort of in the deal they have with DC. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow there might be some things that they have to pay extra cash for, so that's why they don't use it anymore or very often, but I could be mistaken. As for when will we stream again, we try to stream every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It doesn't always happen. It could happen that sometimes we will stream some other day, but roughly, I'll try to announce it a bit earlier if I can. But usually on Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's pretty much when we stream Shinobite. So happy holidays to everyone. I hope you guys will be safe this holiday. I hope you'll be able to have fun, even places where you are locked down. Hopefully, you'll be able to enjoy yourself a bit. And Mr. Nix, if you have any last words.
So again, just going over the Holly Leaves guest thing, it was 1,292 Holly Leaves total. Again, I'll have a look in the comment section of our live chat here to see who was closest without going over. Thanks for participating, guys. That was kind of fun to do.
And just one last question for our friend Albert. The Batman Family Pack includes 4 styles. It includes the Red Robin style. It includes the Huntress style. And I forget the Batman Beyond, and there's another one that I failed to recall. And the Nightwing style. So these are the styles that are included. There's also the Swarming Bat Aura, and there's probably other stuff that I failed to mention. But it's quite a nice bundle. Obviously, if you already have those styles, it may not be that attractive. Oh, wrong pack. So obviously, if you already have those styles, it may not be that attractive. But if you don't have it right now, it's probably the best option, the best offer you'll have. Like it has the 20 stabilizers. Already with the 20 stabilizers, that's more than what it's almost as much as what the package is worth right now. So basically, for the price of 20 stabilizers, you also get source marks. You also get the 4 styles. You get the Swarming Bat Aura. So it would be a nice deal, a nice pack to have to purchase right now. But obviously, if you already have all those styles in the game right now, but then yeah, the pack is not worth as much. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. So as always, thank you for watching. Again, have a happy holidays. Hopefully you guys will have some fun, and we'll see you guys next time.
Take care, guys.